Hello everyone, welcome to Newcastle Fans TV. I am Will Dixon, and today I'm doing a video in the aftermath of the Reading. It's the day after, and also a preview towards the Bristol City game on Saturday. So, Reading, finally, we won. Thank God for that. Third time's always a charm. And we won 4-1, but I think sort of the best thing about the Reading win is that it was with our second string team. It was with Kieran, Gouffran, and Anita starting at right back, and we still got a very convincing 4-1 win. Compared to Huddersfield, it was just so much better. I've said this in the fan cam on this channel. It was much better, and also playing to Dwight Gale's strengths, I think, was the main point for this game. You know, we weren't pumping it long ball towards him for him to try and head it on. And, you know, he was able to get the ball to his feet or get in behind the defence, a very slow Reading defence, and was able to cause problems. Even if one of his 2 goals was a free kick, he was still causing them problems all day long. And it was the same with Perez, sort of in behind, but they were managing to get the passes in. Matt Ritchie was causing them havoc as well. I thought it was very, very convincing. Sorry, Yapstam, but I thought we were quite convincing that game. Also, another thing to point out, which I'm quite happy with, is the Shelvey-Hayden partnership. I think you've got a fantastic balance there. Hayden with his height and his physical strength, and then Shelvey was Shelvey contributed defensively much better, but he was also, he also sprayed the Hollywood passes, but at times he was a bit more sensible and keeping the ball on the ground and just doing the easy passes that were much better for the team rather than trying to sort of steal the show. And also Isaac Hayden getting his goal, it's fantastic for the lad to get his first goal. I think that partnership it's got the correct balance. I think it's got everything we need in there, and I think that really is sort of set in stone now about that. Also, another thing to point out, Vernon and Anita playing at right back this time. It was actually quite surprising to see that Yamat was dropped. Looks so much better. It's so much better for Anita to be in that position because it plays a bit more to his strengths. He's a very energetic player. He's not, when he's in the middle of the park as a CDM, you might have guessed, he's not very tall, he's not very strong. So he kind of gets a bit bullied, and then at right wing, he doesn't have the pace, he doesn't have the skill to kind of play in that position. So right back is kind of, where he can use his, he has got a good passing ability, and he's also got an alright cross on him. So it's much more to his strength to be back there, and he can tackle where he's up against, not a strong player. He's up against, players who are quick, but they're not sort of physically strong. They won't really bully him. So I think Vernon Anita's really cemented himself as a second choice right back, which it isn't great for Jamie Sterry's case, because I thought he was putting in an alright case to play there. However, I think Yamat is still our best right back, and then Anita kind of sort of comes behind him in that place. I think Anita, I think that's his best position, and yeah, from now on, Anita right back. Also, interestingly, really surprisingly, Kieran Clark and Gouffran started this game. Clark didn't look very convincing. I think he kind of grew into the game. He gave away an absolutely stupid penalty. But, I wasn't that convinced when he came in. Someone who wasn't first choice at Aston Villa coming into our team. And he looked a bit, I don't know, just a bit shaky and he kind of gave the ball away a couple of times. I fully expect the Celts to come back in for this game. But I think definitely fourth choice, to be honest, behind Grant Hanley. And then Gouffran nearly scored with a fantastic bicycle kick, to be fair to him. And he does work hard, but he just doesn't have the quality. He's not quick, he's not skillful, and as I said, for Vernon and Anita, those are the 2 main attributes you need to be a winger. Does he have a place in the squad as a very, very last resort choice? So while we did win convincingly, and I'm very very happy we won, do not get me wrong, it's we it also showed that we still need areas to for players to come in. You know, Rafa has said that there's 4 or 5 players that could come in. I think we definitely need a left back because although Dummett was much better against Huddersfield, I still think he doesn't quite have the attributes to be a good, like a solid left back. Like defensively, he's okay, but going forward, he's just not got it. He's not got the cross. He's not got the pace. And then if he's up there, which he does have to because he is a left back, then he hasn't got the speed to get back. He got skinned a couple of times by McCleary yesterday. We also desperately need another winger. I mean, Richie was he was my man of the match. He was absolutely superb. Aaron's is kind of quick. I think he's still a bit raw. I think he needs to play a bit more. But we definitely need someone else in. I think Knockout would be a dream signing, but I don't really see that one happening. Mainly because he's Brighton. He's their number one choice, and they're going to be competing for us. There's no real reason why Brighton couldn't get promoted ahead of us. And then a striker. I think we've all kind of said that we need a striking option who's a bit more physical. We've got Gale, we've got Perez, who are quite sort of small, agile, quick players. And actually also Adam Armstrong's added to that list. But then we need another Mitrovic type player. I'm a fan of James Wilson from Man United. I know a couple of championship clubs are already after him. He's kind of got a bit of everything. He's quick, but he has got the physical strength, and he's proven at Brighton that he can do it in the championship. Also, another name that came up was Leonardo Ulloa from Leicester, the Argentine. He's really down the pecking order at Leicester. He's behind Vardy, Okazaki, Musa. So his game time is very limited. Again, proven in the championship, again with Brighton. But I don't know. But the only thing about that one is, again, he'll be coming in, but he wouldn't be first choice again. So there'll be a lot of strikers ahead of him. So not really too sure how that one will come out. But there's still room for improvement. There's still room for development. We're just going to have to wait and see. Right, moving on to Bristol. Now, Bristol kind of finished in the lower half of the championship. But right now, they actually look a pretty good outfit. So they won their first 2 games versus Wigan and Burton. And then they lost their first game of the season against Norwich away from home. So that's not really... So that's, Norwich are a good team. They've got some good players. Obviously got relegated with us. So that's not really something, to sort of complain about. They are a very good team. And they've got 2 very good strikers in Khadija, who last season got 19 goals in 42 games. And then Tammy Abraham, who's an 18-year-old from Chelsea. He's 6'3", and he's got 3 and 3 this season. So they have got a goal threat in there. So there's lots to be wary of for this game. It could be quite dangerous, especially if we need to guard against our complacency. I think getting the win against Reading has just sort of made it more important because I think this one could be a struggle, and I think we could be in for a difficult game. And they've also got Lee Tomlin, who we were linked to earlier in the window, who's kind of like he's not a player, but he's a very, very good championship player, and he's very, very proven in the championship. So we've got to be careful with that. I think Benitez will go back to kind of like the old team that he was putting out, except Anita, please tell me he doesn't start again at right wing. And I hope Aarons comes in instead of him. Yanmat goes in for right back, and then Lascelles comes in for Kieran Clark. I think we have to be careful when we approach this game. I think we can definitely win it. I'm not saying we can't, but we do have to be wary, and especially if we commit too many men forward, then we could very, very easily get counter-attacked. So therefore, for this game, our defensive midfield pairing of Shelvey and Hayden is going to be so important. It's going to be so crucial to be able to make sure that we don't get counter-attacked and to guard that back 4. Shelvey was fantastically defensively against Reading. He was really getting stuck into tackles. rather than just spraying Hollywood balls all over the place. He's got to be able to be. It's got to be disciplined performance. There's got to be a certain structure to it. But we do have the quality up front to be able to win this game. So yeah, that's my preview for Bristol. That's my reaction to Reading. Make sure you follow the channel on Twitter. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you comment on the video. I have been Will Dixon. This has been Newcastle Fans TV, and I will see you later.